Ladies and gentlemen, football therapy today is going to be filmed, cyclist, at the most therapeutic car of destinations. What's happening, people? Welcome to Football Therapy, coming from a National Trust car park. I was driving from A to B and looking on my phone about all the news of coming out in football and decided I wanted to do a video. So I'm filming it from my car in a car park, so you might hear some cars driving around. But I got my lapel mic, so that's decent. Yeah, so Maurizio Sarri is out of Chelsea. It is official. Simultaneously announced by both Juventus and Chelsea about Sarri's exit. So as soon as Chelsea reported that officially that he's left the club, Juventus officially reported that he's joined them as their first team coach. So yeah, I mean, it's not like big news, shock horror, right? We all knew about it, but it is now official, and it happened very, very quick as soon as Granasca's hand shook the Juventus representative's hand. So there it is. Looking back on Sarri's short tenure, you have to say it was successful in terms of the tangible facts. Podium finish in the league domestically, reached 2 finals, lost on penalties to the best team in England, and won a European trophy convincingly 4-1 in a London derby, putting Arsenal to the sword and condemning them to Thursday night football. So, all things considered, a successful season for Sarri, but he never really sat well with a lot of the Chelsea fans and English media. The thing is with Sarri, he's held in such high regard in Italy. He's like a sort of tactical genius. He's kind of like, in a way, when he was there, their Pep Guardiola. So he's gone from being really highly respected to having a very difficult time in the Premier League. I mean, you always have a difficult time at Chelsea, but he just had a bit of a rough ride regardless, you know, just in English football generally. So it was a difficult one for old Maurizio, but now he's at Juventus and he gets to coach Cristiano Ronaldo. You'd imagine they'd make a couple of signings, and I've said it before in previous videos, the fact how Juve got slapped about by a fast-passing, youthful Ajax side. That's probably why they fancy Maurizio Sarri, because he can offer that pacey, fast ball movement football, and probably Cristiano Ronaldo, well, apparently Ronaldo actually championed his appointment, and I can believe that after that Ajax result, and generally just, you know, maybe the club wanting more attractive football. They've had pragmatism, they've had domestic success, unprecedented domestic success, excuse me, but they want a bit more. They want to do it they want to do it with style now domestically, and on top of that they want to take a different approach that may well help in Europe. Now, I know Sarri's not got any experience of success in Europe, but Sarri, that football with that quality married together, it could do bits. So I can kind of understand it. There's a kind of a loss for the Premier League because he is a successful manager, a good manager, certainly one of the top tier managers in world football, so it is a loss for the Premier League, and he was an interesting character in the sense of how honest he was and his outlook on football. But in terms of interesting character and gain for the league, enter Frank Lampard. The media love Lampard, or I think they do. They should do anyway. The way he handles himself in the media and the character he is. Obviously, he's one of like English football greats. Certainly is Chelsea great. Club's top goal scorer, arguably greatest player. Wore the armband for England and for Chelsea. You know, Champions League finals, scoring in all sorts of games. So, if you ask the majority of Chelsea fans who their favourite player is or who the greatest Chelsea player is, I'd bet my bottom dollar on the vast majority saying Frank Lampard. So in terms of positive work towards the media, good PR towards Chelsea fans, and certainly good PR for the Premier League, Lamp's probably a really good move in that sense. It's just his experience, you know. So here's the deal with Frank Lampard. Clearly underprepared for, his experience is obviously shouldn't meet the criteria of a coach that's being hired by Chelsea Football Club. I mean, that's not really up for dispute. If you just look at what he's done, he just scraped 6th in England's second tier, and probably the two big benefits of his looking back on his managerial year, his career, is that he takes risks with kids and stuff, and he's a leader. Like, he inspires passion and comebacks and the kind of stuff that Sarri doesn't have. Sarri has all the good coaching, manager experience and stuff, but Frank will go in at half time and it will inspire them players to come out second half and do really well, and do you know what I mean, that kind of stuff. So it's deep, man. From my opinion as a Chelsea fan, looking at it now, I would have really preferred Ten Hag. I'm going on a 5 Live tomorrow morning to talk about the managerial situation, and I'm pretty much going to echo the same things that I've been talking about recently. I would have wanted Ten Hag. I got a little bit of grief for it because people thought it was a bit samey from Sarri, or give Frank a chance, but I think his passing, he would have played the youth. He's got more experience than Frank. He would have, he's just won the league title in Holland, and he had a great European Cup campaign with Ajax, and I feel like he plays similar football to Sarri, so he could have picked it up. And while this happened, Frank could have prepared more. But that's a sort of a little bit more of a pragmatic perspective. But another one could be, well, there's a transfer ban. Frank and Jody Morris know the youth. Certainly Jody Morris, he'll play the kids. There'll be a grace period for Frank because fans love Frank and they won't turn on him. Plus, everyone will understand there's a transfer ban, and Chelsea aren't necessarily expected to get in the top 4 next season because of everything considered. And obviously Cech is coming in as director of football, and there's talk of Didier Drogba getting a coaching role, rumours about Michael Essien as well, but it does sound quite like they're getting the band back together. So really interesting. If they do, if Cech does have that role and acts as a buffer between, Frank and, I guess, Mourinho or Roman or something, it would be really interesting. That would probably be quite an important role. And it could work. It would be certainly a collective effort, and the feel-good factor would be huge for Frank. But his first game will be away at Old Trafford. It's no messing about now. He will have a Champions League campaign to manage and coach. It's no, from going to just scraping into a playoff place in the Championship to like potentially playing away in the Bernabeu and Old Trafford. You know what I mean? It's crazy. So it's really risky. It's interesting. It's certainly interesting, and it's nothing like Chelsea have ever done before in that sense, in terms of not an intermittent, temporary coach mid-season to come in, actually looking at a project and getting someone completely not left field because he's Frank Lampard and it's Chelsea, but just something very different. Does look like it's happening. There's news about how Derby are wanting to extend his contract, or I don't know if that's just paper talk to try and milk some money out of Chelsea, but it does look like Chelsea would have made 8 million out of the release of Maurizio Sarri, and it would be a 4 million compensation package to Derby. So Chelsea probably be happy for that, but they never like getting mugged off, certainly Marina Granovskaya. So if she feels like she can milk some more money from via negotiations, don't be surprised at that. But yeah, I'll probably do another video on Frank and how he could probably properly use Chelsea players and what loanees and youth he could implement. Again, I said this last video, but if you haven't yet checked out the video I did on Frank Lampard, the prosecution and defence, similar stuff to what I said in this video today, but I talk a little bit more about how maybe it would work better for him at Chelsea. Again, how Chelsea, something else that you guys have probably heard me echo before, I think Chelsea will work better systemically without Eden Hazard in terms of a team effort. So it's interesting times. Keep an eye on it, guys. If you have anything to comment or you're interested in stuff I've said in this video and you want to speak your mind, please do comment down below. I urge you guys just to comment anyway. Please like the video if you enjoyed watching this and you want to support my content. It helps, apparently. Like the video, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you're new. And that's pretty much it, guys. So enjoy the football, and I'll see you later.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy talk. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought. Body bag the verse, outlined in chalk. In my life seen trouble, hustle on the double. Silence on the trigger like my pick got a muzzle. Yo chick like to guzzle, bad boy stay in trouble. I only love this paper, sorry I don't. I laugh me baby.